I was kept out because of access problems many times, and I had to go long ways around to avoid steps, or I had to call on great amount of help to get up, and sometimes the help was not too helpful. The people were clumsy at it because they'd never done it before. I don't think I mentioned the ADA in the churches. In fact, I generally accepted the conditions they had and let the problems of their getting me up on the platform and the problems of getting me up the stairs into their building, let those speak for themselves, and you didn't have to preach to them. They knew that this was not the way it should be. I thought that at least a few churches could put in elevators, or churches could find ways to rearrange their furniture or their aisles of the church so that there would be some place for these people to feel welcome. Here in Orange City, all the churches had steps when we came. Now, very few of them have a total exclusion. You know, there's always some way to get in without having to go up the stairs, and there are a number of elevators in churches, and it's been improved considerably, and it's true in many other communities. It's a little easier in a church of a community of several thousand people than it is in a church that's in a 100-person town, or actually a totally rural church. Well, one of the reasons we chose the old church on Albany was that there were cubby holes that I could fit into without standing in the aisle and blocking people going forward and back, because I always disliked the idea of having a wheelchair in an aisle, especially if it wasn't a very wide aisle, that you are a hindrance to worshipers rather than a help. And that was one of the reasons we chose the Old Trinity, even though it had more steps than First Church and American Church. We chose Trinity because there was a place where I could sit. In addition, my wife and children liked the fellowship there, and you know, there were other factors involved, but that was my personal response. And I didn't have a lot to do with planning this new building, and yet they've heard me speak of a few things. I haven't actually suggested how to do things, and there's a few things that I would have done differently if I had been on the planning committee for this building. But overall, it's an excellent place for disabled people. Better for wheelchair people, I think, than hearing loss people or people who have eyesight problems, but there have been some accommodations for those people too.